Hey, what's going on? It's EB the Investor here. I got another great topic for you guys today. I'm talking about mindset and really what it really takes to become the person that you want to be. Many people out there say that they want to purchase real estate or they want to buy a cash flowing business, but very few actually do. See, the problem is the many don't actually carry the mindset of an operator or an owner before they actually go out and embark on that journey. It's a very simple concept. You can't be the person that you want to be until you actually make the change on the back end and to be the person that you want to be, right? You can't keep living the same way today, thinking the same way that you today, moving the same way today, trying to become somebody else. You have to get rid of the old you and step into the new you. And it's a process. And this is why most people never actually truly get there. You see, the thing is, operator mindset is not just about ownership or about being an investor or anything like that. It's about what comes before, what you have to go through the process, how you have to think, how you have to move, all of that before you actually step into the light of ownership. Think about it like this. If I gave you a property today and I said, here are the keys, go run this facility, go run this property, go get me renters, whatever it's going to be, you wouldn't know how to actually do it. And that can easily be fixed and solved. All you have to do is just understand beforehand how it all operates, how it works. So when you're ready to take on that type of responsibility, you already know how to do it when you get the keys. You see, operators don't just wake up one day and decide, I'm going to go purchase a piece of real estate or buy a cash flowing business. It doesn't just work like that. Owners and operators take time. They develop this idea, this mentality, these skill sets over time, and then get to the person that they want to be, and then go out and purchase a piece of real estate. Before I bought my first property, I was already thinking like the owner that I knew I wanted to be. You see, I was walking around and I almost felt like I was delusional. I was saying I'm a real estate owner and investor. I buy cash flowing assets. I'm telling people, I'm telling my friends, my family, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I am doing. This is what I'm working towards. Even though I didn't already have the asset just yet. But I had the mindset. But not only did I have the mindset, I was learning. I was doing what I needed to do, what it took in order for me to understand how to run it. All that back end, the things that people don't see, all the work that you're doing on the back. That's what's important. I did all of that firsthand. And then after understanding that I had to know this stuff before, now I'm able to step into it. When I get the keys to a facility or to another cash flowing business, I knew exactly what I needed to do because I had done my research. I had done the mindset shift and everything beforehand. Think about it like this. If I gave you $1 million today, nine times out of 10, what's going to happen? Within a month, a couple of weeks, some of you guys may even be a day, you already know exactly what you're going to spend on it. And 9 times out of 10, again, it's not something that's going to multiply. It's not going to double it or even 10x that money. It's gone. But if you're studying the right things ahead of time and you're changing your mindset, instead of I'm going to go buy that car, this purse, those shoes, you can actually go in knowing exactly what you're going to do with that $1 million. You can take that funds and you can put it into a cash flowing asset, a piece of real estate, and not be worried because you know enough to make it happen. You have the mindset of this is what I'm going to do in order to grow these funds because this is where I'm trying to be one day. I want to be this level of person. I want to be this type of CEO, but you can't do that still thinking the same way that you do today. In summary, if you think like the owner that you want to be, when you finally do get the keys, it'll be the easiest thing in the world. Doing exactly what you've been training yourself to do. You see, I have 3 pillars of an ownership mindset that I think if you learned and studied and actually applied, you would succeed. The first is discipline over emotion. You see, when it comes to discipline, discipline is instilled within you. It's taught. You understand it now, and that's how you move. That's how you execute. It's just discipline. You know exactly what to do, how to do, when to do. It's unchanging. It's, again, something within you. Emotion, on the other hand, comes and goes. It changes, it varies. It's not really regulated. It can just happen at any time. Not that that's a bad thing, but there are bad emotions. And when you start to mix those things with business, the results may be catastrophic. This is why I say discipline over the emotion. With my real estate that I own, I use the same principle, discipline over emotion. You see, discipline is actually going to get the bills paid. It's going to actually help me collect from tenants because I understand. I trained myself, hey, when I get this facility, I need to make sure that I have a solid collections system in place. And then when the time comes, a tenant may be upset. They may be, oh, I don't feel like paying, or I can't pay, or whatever. That starts to tug on the heartstrings. That's where emotion starts to step in. But I have to stay disciplined. Okay, well, this is a business. You need to pay up or you need to go. Very simple things. Keep that in mind. Discipline over emotion. This can be applied across any type of business. Discipline also taught me that I need to put systems into place. These systems are what help this dysfunction without me. Because you see, whenever I don't feel like it, the business still runs. Whenever I'm tired, the business will continue to still run. And that's just discipline. I knew that I needed to set this up beforehand so that if I had my off day, the business still runs. And I say that to say, because if the business is not consistently running, it's not always doing what it needs to do, tenants will notice that, customers will notice that. And consistency is key. Consistency is actually what's going to get you to the next level. You can't build consistency off of motivation alone. You need the discipline instilled in you in order to be consistent. My second pillar, another great one, clarity over speed. With speed, all you're doing is just trying to grow, trying to scale as quickly as possible. And there's not necessarily a problem with that. But when you grow too fast, you might outgrow your current situation. Maybe your finances are set here and you're trying to outpace your finances. And there's one thing that we all know, you can't outrun your pockets. Maybe you're trying to outpace even your mindset. And again, that's not necessarily a bad thing. If you want to move faster than where you're currently at today, you're going to learn what you need to learn in order to get to that next step. But moving too fast can be detrimental to the success of your business. This is why you need to have clarity in everything that you're doing for your business. You need to understand your finances. You need to understand the processes, the systems that it takes to run your business, any and everything into that business model and structure. You need to understand it. You need to know when something goes wrong, what are you going to do about it? You need to know if you're hiring someone else to take on that project, what are they going to do about it? What are the systems, the SOP processes and procedures for when something does go wrong or for when something goes right? How involved are you going to be in that system, or are you going to be removed, partially removed? Check in every now and then. Those are the things that you need to understand. You need to have clarity on so that when the time comes to operate or run your business, you know exactly what you're doing. And you're not moving too fast, outpacing what systems that you have in place. This will keep you successful. And I'll be honest with this one. I've had an issue is that I cannot outpace what's currently going on in this business. I want to be here and I'm acting up here and I'm trying to do things up here when my business is not there just yet. And it may be financially or, you know, growth and scale related. I'm trying to do things that we can't necessarily enact. And again, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Remember, having that mindset ahead of time is still okay, but you cannot outrun some things. So you don't want to over leverage, overstretch yourself and end up leading to the success. Like I said, I had to learn this myself, and I've been able to re-implement that into newer strategies and things that I have going on in my business. And it's again helping me to remain successful. And this third one, I think, is a very, very important piece to remember. It's learning over ego. Ego is just looking the part. A lot of people want to just look like they know what they're talking about. A lot of people out there want to look rich or look, again, like a professional, different things like that. And it's not necessarily beneficial to look like something, more as it's important to actually know. You could look like a bum, you could look like whatever, but if you actually know what you're talking about, there's a big difference there. Stop trying to be a pretender and just be you. Know what you know. Don't talk about things that you don't know about. In order to keep your success going, take the time, study, learn, perfect your craft, become the master of your space, and then if you want to talk about it to other people or if people ask you about it for that matter, you're telling them things that you know. You've taken the time to understand it, and it's a very simple regurgitation of what's already up here because you spent a lot of time learning that stuff ahead of time. Don't be a pretender. Do not act like you know something that you don't, or else the wolves will sniff you out. Take me, for example. I'm not going to tell you guys in this video here that I know how it is to run a $10 million company or a $100 million company because I don't. I'm not there just yet. I'm still starting my business and trying to scale it, but I understand some important key things that I know at my level that I'm going to take with me as I grow, but I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys that I know how to operate at this level and I'm not there. One more thing I'll touch on this piece. Just continue to be a student of life. Don't ever stop learning. I try to read as many books as I possibly can. I'm currently still working on Think and Grow Rich, and that's a very entry level book. And if you get the chance, take that time to read that one because that's a great book that's going to help you start to perfect and start to build that mindset that you need to have ahead of time. But again, as I say, take time to just read, understand, learn, study, and open your ears so that you can receive, be a sponge, soak it all in, be a student of life. And then when it's your turn, you'll be able to speak about it. And so you might ask, how does this apply to real estate? It's actually very simple. You got to have the mindset again before you get in there. For real estate, you need to think like a business owner. In any business model that you are running, especially when it comes to real estate, they all kind of work very similarly. You still have things that you actually have to do, and you need to think more like a business owner rather than just a passive real estate investment. You have to market. You have to do operations. You have to control finances. You have to have customer relations or investor relations. All of these things are applied across the same business models. And you have to know these things or find someone who knows these things, get around them and soak it in like a sponge so that you know exactly what you need to do during that time of operating. And for me, I don't call my business real estate. I'm not in the business of real estate. I'm in the business of operations. I go in, I find cash flowing assets or businesses that are underperforming. And I go in and I do my underwriting or whatever analysis that I need to do to see if I can improve the value. And as long as there's value that can be collected, I will purchase that piece of real estate or business. And then I get into it. I'm looking at the marketing. I'm looking at finances. Will it cash flow? I'm looking at customer relations because my self-storage properties are products being sold to a customer. I have to appeal to my customer. I have to market to my customer. There are things that you have to do from a business standpoint in real estate. It's not just a passive investment. This is all hands on deck, at least at the start for sure. And I'm at the start. I can attest to that you have to do some things first before you're able to just hands off. Ask yourself this: am I studying ownership or am I preparing to operate? The difference being analysis paralysis, looking at different things, shiny object syndrome, anything like that. where there's just a lot of information coming in. It may not necessarily actually be helpful. Are you going to dial in on that one thing that's going to teach you what you need to know, help you collect more information for your mindset so that when you're ready to step into real ownership, you can actually handle it? Those three things are what helped me shape my mindset to become what it is today. If I asked myself a year or two ago, could I do what I'm doing today? The answer may have still been yes, but I probably would have failed at doing so. I've always been a go getter, but I didn't have the mindset. Now that I have the mindset, I 100% can do this. And I charge you to do the same. Get the mindset first before you try to step out into this, or else you will not be successful. If you're building towards this, follow along. Drop a like, drop a comment below. Let me know what you're thinking. At the end of the day, we're all in the business of becoming an operator. I'll catch you on the next one.